Hey guys, it's Paula back with another video. So this chick named Pretty Hoe, Melanie Denae Williams, she goes by name Pretty Hoe on Instagram and Snapchat. She was sentenced to 15 years in prison for trafficking underage girls and prostitution. According to the Daily News, a South Los Angeles pimp and prostitute known as Pretty Hoe on social media was sentenced Thursday to 15 years behind bars for using the internet to try to enlist underage girls to work for her on the streets. Melanie Williams was sentenced to the mandatory 180 months in prison for the plea of single count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. After she completes her 15 years in prison, she's also sentenced to supervised release for 10 years, and also has to pay restitution to her victims for $15,000, which is not enough for the damage that she has caused. Williams also abused a woman she had recruited on social media to work as a prostitute. In one incident detailed in court documents, Williams first ordered the victim to strip, then threw bleach on her and beat the woman with her hands and a broomstick. This little dirty girl also forced one of her victims to get the name Melanie tattooed on her face, then confiscated her belongings and all her identifying documents and threatened to kill her if she tried to leave. This is the type of chick that was there recruiting young girls off of Instagram and Snapchat. Now this girl, Pretty Hoe, I've seen videos online where she posted herself beating people with guns and like shooting guns. Like, she is super violent and she needs to be taken off the street. So I'm glad she got sentenced. And 15 years is way too lenient. At today's sentencing, Pretty Hoe wrote a letter to the judge, and it stated, "I understand that I now have to pay the consequences." She also thanked the government for removing me from, quote unquote, removing me from the awful lifestyle, unquote. She said she's profoundly sorry for the pain and trauma suffered by the victims in the case. Now, I know that she has caused a lot of pain to a lot of young people, but I want to break it down and talk about how did things get this bad for her? What made her choose this lifestyle? You know, they always say hurt people hurt people. This girl was really young, only 23, and she had started pimping, and she was a prostitute herself. I've seen pictures online that I didn't want to include in this video of her with these older white men in hotel rooms, you know? So either she had a pimp or she was molested or something like that, because at such a young age, you've chosen the lifestyle where you are recruiting underage girls and basically physically, mentally, emotionally abusing them. So I believe somebody may have done this to her, and this is why she may have been behaving this way. It doesn't excuse what she's done, but I hope that she can get some kind of therapy or something while she's in prison, because clearly something was done to her. She's damaged. Only a damaged young girl could do such a thing, in my opinion. She had to have been damaged, raped, molested, something when she was younger, for her to go that route and recruit girls and have them raped and beaten and pimp them out. You know, those girls will go and have sex with guys and they have to bring the money to her. You know, it's awful. Now, I'm not saying that I have sympathy for this young lady. However, I just feel like this girl has been through a lot in her life. And the pain that she inflicted on her victims, I believe it was due to the pain that was inflicted on her. And she didn't know how to process that. And maybe that's the result of it. This is how it turned out for her. I hope she gets the help that she needs, and she should not be on the street. I'm glad that she's behind bars and she will not be able to have access to any more underage girls, you know, to ruin their lives. I'd like to know your thoughts on this particular story. Do you think that 15 years is enough for all the crimes that she has committed? Or do you think that this young lady needs to get professional help, or both? Because clearly, like I said, something was done to her to have her behaving this way. And if you're going to release her in 15 years, you got to make sure that she's mentally ready for that and she doesn't have the same mentality and the way of thinking. You got to make sure she's reformed before you put her back on the streets. So they need to get to the core of why she displayed that type of behavior, why she felt that she needed to be a pimp and gangbang and all that. So anyways, thanks for watching, and leave a comment below. Let's have a discussion.